What's going on, everyone? Dwayne here from NorCal Nerf Club, and as you can see sitting in front of us today is a brand new Nerf Rival Pathfinder. Been anxious to get my hands on this blaster. I like the look of the new line, the Fate and the Vision, the other ones that have been in this line, but this would be the flagship for this new line, whether they call on it AccuRival. And we're going to kind of test that out here a little bit later on in the video. But there it is in the package and everything. Liking this. I like the color of it and everything. I kind of expected that yellow to be closer to the ones that are on the Edge series, but no, it's yellow, but very nice looking blaster. Some of their test results over here on the side showing how these the new Rival rounds are supposedly a bit more accurate than the old ones, and we're gonna check that out a little bit later on in the video too, versus my favorite type of rounds that I find the most accurate. So stick around for that. Meanwhile, heck, let's get this thing out of the package and take a better look at it. Well, there we go. Got the Pathfinder out of the package, and haven't got to spend any time with it. Everything you see here is going to be completely first impressions on it. Nice weight to it. I like that. I noticed that about this blaster from watching other reviews of it. I was like, I bet you that blaster is really light, and it is. The grip, not bad. I don't know. Let's see, priming wise, yeah, that's fine for me. Now I'm gonna, in this video, hopefully put a little heavier spring into this blaster, so we'll see if that makes a difference and makes it harder. But that's not bad. It's all smooth, but it's comfortable. Same thing with the grip here, completely smooth. Just a little bit of knurling right there for your fingers, but yeah, for my hand, fits it perfectly. I got no complaints there. Got the sights; those are good looking. I like that. Nice colors to them. They are adjustable. I believe this one goes up and down with the dial over here. Yep, do that. We'll have to check that. It'll go side to side up here. We'll have to check out how effective that really is as I work on this and try to get a real nice sight picture on it, and so make it, see if it is as accurate as it should be. Like I said, we are going to be testing that a little bit later on in the video. But yeah, really nice. Right, the trigger's not bad. That stock, tiny, small. I can still shoulder it and get up on the sights fairly well on it. So can't complain there, you know, for $31 blaster. Yeah, not too shabby, but I do like the colors to it. Very nice. Yeah, good looking blaster. I can tell this is going to be a fun one to play with. Like I said, its lightweight nature is really nice. I like it a whole lot. But yeah, we've got one in there. So what everybody wants to see first, and what I want to know, how is it going to perform straight out of the package? Let's see if we can get our chronograph a little bit more level over here. There we go. Should make it easier to me to get in here. I'm firing these things straight off into the corner of my desk here. They're going to go flying like everywhere. Okay, we got an 84.6, a little bit light. Pretty smooth prime though. That is pretty nice. Got an 84.6 again. Now they advertise 90 on the box. Got an 83.3. Got an 80.6. We have not hit 90 yet. 83.9. And let's do one more shot here. So what I was trying not to do is hit my camera. One more final shot. 85.6. That'd be the highest one so far. So yeah, a little underwhelmed there on the performance so far, seeing how they advertised 90. I hadn't hit 90 yet, and I saw that in a couple of other reviews. Seemed kind of down on this on power. Okay, which we're going to do something to bring that up, definitely. But here we go, straight out of the box. Our max was at 85.6, minimum was an 80.6, so we just got barely over 185 on this. Average was 83.7. Whew, something going to have to be done about that. We are going to be opening this up in a few and putting in a new spring on it. But I do like the blaster overall. We'll talk about, I like his magazine. Kind of interesting. Magazine goes in the other way, and it's it is not compatible with the other magazines that they've had for Rival, which is unfortunate. But hopefully the better thing is that they made a better designed magazine, because the problem I always said is, say you like your Helios. I've got a few Helioses and they always jam up. A lot of them, like the last thing that they did, the last magazine fed Rival blaster that Hasbro put out would have been the Finisher. Same thing, a lot of jams in it, didn't really like it. And I think they were trying to improve the magazine, and hopefully they've done more of that here. Because I always said, like the Helios, problem with it isn't the blaster of a jam, and it's the magazine and how it feeds it up in there, and it isn't always reliable. So it causes rounds to go halfway up and then they get pinched and they're jammed and you're stopped in the middle of play. That is just no good. So, but anyways, I'm anxious actually to stop talking about this blaster so much. You've seen the little features on it. I could talk more about the barrel and everything, but I really want to get a screwdriver to this thing after seeing those numbers and see if we can improve on that a little bit. Well, there we have it. There are the internals of the Pathfinder. I got to tell you, there's a lot of screws there. There's a whole lot of screws to the shell of this. As you can see, a little bit thinner of a shell that helps it be a little bit lighter, but then they put in many, many more screws into this. But there you go. Good place for you to pause this if you need a place to look at the internals on this blaster. Pretty straightforward. I can see there's actually two ways that you could get into the spring back here to do a replacement. You could go ahead and take out all these parts and take out the sled and the breech and everything together and just take that all out as one piece. But what I like to do, you'll see as I often do on any of these spring replacements, I'd like to take out as little as possible. Just so it's less, problems, things getting back together, you forgetting to put something back together. But I'm trying not to hit my camera too much. But my best way to get in here, I think is going to be just to take out the whole safety trigger and catch mechanism here. This is just your safety here, and you can probably just remove this piece. I'm just going to slide the spring and everything off of it, off this little post there, and that frees that. Then I can get in here. There we go. Yeah, just pop all that up out of. See what I'm saying? I think you can just take that piece out of there if you wanted to. But I see the spring came off on me, and I'm going to have to get down there and get it out of there. But there we go. I can just take out the whole catch and everything and get to the spring. I could already tell this looks like it's going to be a real good candidate for K25. Yes, it is, and that is a soft spring. As you can see, mine was a little bit underperforming than other blasters I've seen reviews on, and I don't know. Yeah, that spring is soft, it seems like, on here. And like I said, a good candidate for K25. I happen to have some, and we're going to just see how much we need there. Feels okay, the seal there. Now, the thing about Rival blasters and a lot of these, that does expand up a little bit, the O-ring right there. Nice padded plunger head here. I could fill that in, and I probably will. I think I'm going to go ahead and we'll fill that in, just fill in that dead space there. And yeah, like I said, I like how they pad these things now. That's very, very nice. Very cool. I like that a whole lot. But let me go see. I've got to go get a chunk of K25, and we'll see how much of that we're going to use. Okay, all ready to get the spring back in here. I'm going to make sure this is all aligned again. Boy, I'll tell you what, I've tried it a few times, and it kind of wants to bow back up on me. And my camera keeps disconnecting from my phone over here. I've almost had this together, and it disconnected, and I really wanted to show you guys this part because I lubed it up. The head, I padded it with one of my plunger head pads, which you can get at Dollar General. Everybody always asks me about this. You can get them at Dollar General, any kind of hardware store. Go out there and look. At Walmart, you can get these things, or something very, very similar. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can't get this all fit back together. Remember, has to look just like that, sliding in. So this little slot is facing upwards. Go ahead, get that slid in place. And then the problem I was having was getting the catch to feed right down where it needs to. It wants to go there, but it wants to bow back up real badly here. And I've left the safety out. That was giving me a couple little problems and headaches too. This little catch release and everything just goes right back up on here. Okay, now spring is in there. Okay, I apologize big time. My camera, my GoPro, and my phone are tied together through an app to control the GoPro, and it keeps disconnecting from it. And it did it right in the middle of kind of a pivotal moment for me, something kind of very important. The best way to get this spring in here is to pre-compress the plunger assembly, the plunger tube, here, the catch and everything, here the plunger tube up there, compress it together. So you see it's caught back here right now. It's ready to fire. If I pulled that trigger, this whole thing would fire. I know it's like holding on to a hand grenade, how you say while you're doing it, but I found that was the best way for me able to get this, drop back in there, and then you always know it can catch before you put it all back together. Actually got plenty of space in between the spring. I can see right there with the compression. So that's pretty good. I got a nice chunk. 10 coils of K25 ain't no joke. That's pretty good. I did remove the safety from here because it was giving me a few problems, but I think I could probably put it back in real quick if I wanted to right now. Getting this back together and realizing where this needed to be when that is caught. Okay, see how it goes up underneath there? It just drops in then, basically. Made that a lot easier just by pre-compressing this, getting it all caught together. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in fact, I'll leave a link for it. Refer to my Saturn guide, I believe is one that I did. And I think my Jupiter guide also that I went through and just found out that it was easier to pre-compress this, everything all together, get that all caught, and then just drop the whole thing in. You know, the plunger head and everything just slides in real nice. That goes into its place. You just have to be very careful not to press that right there. Okay, but like I said, it's so much easier. You saw I was kind of fighting with that and having some headaches with it, and oftentimes that's just the case. It's not blowing up right now, which makes it a whole lot easier to work with. So I think we're good. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to button it all back together, and we'll see what kind of results we've got. Okay, we are all screwed back together. Everything went back together fine. This blaster wasn't too hard to take apart, except there is a lot of screws to it, and if I didn't mention earlier in the video, like I like to do right after I take all the screws out, there is 3 different sizes of screws in this, just the normal ones all over the place, but then you're going to have 2 longer ones right here in the middle of the blaster. You're going to have 3 smaller ones right there on the grip, and as well as this one up front. Otherwise, yeah, all the other screws are all the same size. So it's pretty easy, but just kind of be aware of that when you take this apart. Hopefully you watch this whole video before you take it apart and realize you forgot where some of the screws went to. But you'll notice them definitely when these bigger ones come out. Be careful also when pulling these out. They are pretty solidly put in at first. Make sure you're using the right size #1 screwdriver. Make sure you've got plenty of pressure on it. When you break those loose, don't mess up the screw heads on this. I could see that happening real easily on these. Now, we're ready to go ahead and test fire this, but remember, I am primed in there, so I need to go over here to the D prime here. Instead of, dry firing at this point, go ahead and hit your D prime here, and then pull back. Allow me to load your magazine, and around in there. And I go over here to our chronograph and see if I up from that whopping 83.7 average that we started off with. God, was not impressed with this one out of the package at all. Okay. Let me see if I can get a little bit of room here. Once again, these rounds are going to go firing all over the place. 125.2. Dwayne is happy because if you watch my channel for a while, when I do these replacements, any spring replacement, I'm not going for over 150. I'm not going for 200 feet per second. I am definitely not. I definitely like to keep it at a sweet spot right between 125 and 135. Much more than that does start to affect some of the accuracy of the blaster, as well as some of the reliability, and then comfort of just using it. Okay, now, because this is the first time I've actually primed it with the priming handle. Nice. Easy enough to do with 10 coils of K25 in here. Second shot, 125.2 again. There we go. See, that's a lot better numbers. 123. 126.9. 126.9 again. I'm liking this. Last one. 128.9. There we go. Like I said, I'm above 125. Man, I'm happy with any blaster that does that. Some of my most accurate blasters average about 127. No kidding. For Rival, that's where you want to be at. Don't go crazy on your Rival trying to get it so high up, because really what I'm doing, I'm thinking about playing close quarters combat. And when you're doing that at 100 feet per second, somebody can dodge you. Even at 20 feet, they can dodge you. If you can keep that same accuracy and up the, your power a little bit, so your round's moving faster at them, they have a hard time dodging it. Even at 30 feet, they'll have a hard time dodging it if it's traveling at them that fast. So that's what I'm trying to do. Not trying to break any speed records with it or anything like that. Sweet spot between 125 and 135. So here we go. Look at these numbers. We have got right now max 128.9, minimum 123.3, and an average of 126. That's good for me. I like that. And I believe we're going to keep our accuracy on this one. I should have, went and done a little bit of an accuracy test when this was stock, just so I could kind of show you that it will be moving a lot faster, even at an average of 126. That's a lot faster than 83.7, okay? So that's definitely a lot better, much better of an improvement. Hard to talk about it. I'm so excited. That really looks good. Making me like this blaster a whole lot more. One thing I do feel bad about when I was putting it back together, though, is that compressing of the whole catch assembly, the spring, the plunger head, all that. Go ahead. Just, you need to put it down on your table or whatever. Push down on it so that the plunger rod is able to come all the way through and catch on it, okay? Wish I could kind of show you a little bit better what I was talking about, but you'll see. Just put it down on the table and do not let it go. Keep constant pressure on it. Don't have slippery hands. Be ready to get a good grip on it. Push it all the way down, all the way till it catches, and do not let go until it is caught. And even when you do that, be careful when you're releasing it, that it's not going to just explode everywhere in your hands. Hold on to it. That'll stop you from losing any little pieces that could go flying and possibly get broke. But hey, this is working pretty fine. Now we've seen the feet per second on it. Made a major improvement from 83.7 to what do we get, 126 even on there. Big improvement. But let's see how it does on the range over here. Let's take it out to the little target range and see what we got there. On the range and about to do some testing with the Pathfinder. This is the setup that I would have to play LockDown HvZ Online over on Facebook, which I will leave you the link to down in the description box. Fantastic game that I have a whole lot of fun with. And I hope some more people out of this video will come over and start playing. We got some really great players over there and always looking to add some more. But what I wanted to show you here is I got a couple more medium-sized blasters that I do real good with, especially as far as Rival over there on LockDown HvZ Online. One of them being my Liberator here. Fantastic blaster, but I'm not going to hold it like up here and try to get on the target of it. I'm going to go over to here and extend out and get real stable and put the crosshairs right on the target, and that is an accurate blaster. Not the most powerful, but very, very accurate. As well as my orbit's a bit more powerful. Does about 135 feet per second. And fantastically accurate. Once again, I'm not going to go up here with it, though. I'm going to extend out. And even as that little blurry reticle on this, if I line that up with the front sight right there and put that on the target, get it stable and pull the trigger, it's hitting the target, okay? Especially with the Chaos rounds. Which, oh, yeah, I've got to show you that. I want you guys to check this out. Chaos rounds are really my favorite type of Rival round, okay? And this is them next to, get it in frame there and everything. That's next to one of the brand new AccuRival rounds. Both of them have a hexagon shape on them. I don't know how much that makes any kind of difference, but they both seem to be very, very accurate. These are a bit stiffer than this, but this is definitely a lot stiffer than just your normal yellow rival rounds, which we're going to test out here in a second too. But yeah, these are my favorite ones. They're probably about the heaviest and densest. Both of them come with a nice wax coating on them, which helps in the orbit for loading a whole lot. In fact, some other rounds sometimes get stuck up in the orbit as well as in the Liberator. Liberator, you should try to use the tactical strike rounds from Dart Zone on that, and those work out real well. Sometimes you deviate and put other ammo in there, and they'll kind of misfeed, maybe even jam up a little bit on you. But both of these rounds, I do like the improvement that they made on these rounds a whole lot. And we're going to test them all out, because I'll tell you what, I'm putting the Pathfinder next to those two blasters. Okay, as far as rival goes, those are a lot of times my go-to. I'll go to my Saturn, or other times my Jupiter rifle is also good, but I like those two when it comes to rival and I need to put down a bunch of targets. Those are the ones I'm going to go to. But, well, speaking of, we're going to take the Pathfinder back there to 16 feet. Normally, LockDown, you're playing 16 feet on 4-inch targets. I have 3 of them set up there. So let's get set up, and we're going to test out some Chaos rounds first. Okay, here we are at the firing line, 16 feet. Got the Pathfinder loaded up with Chaos rounds. And we'll see how they stand up next to that orbit. With the orbit, they are very accurate rounds. But just get a good sight picture in with the Pathfinder. Oh, almost. One more time. Okay, there we go. Well, I missed one on it. That wasn't too bad. But let's go ahead. I'm going to reset those targets, and then we're going to load up some of the brand new AccuRival rounds. Resetted and ready to go, testing out the brand new AccuRival rounds in the brand new Pathfinder. Didn't do too bad with the Chaos rounds. I'm used to not missing with those. I got to tell you that, though. Not to brag, but... Okay, well, missed that same one again with the brand new AccuRival rounds, but we're still doing pretty good, pretty accurate blaster. Now let's move on, let's go to regular old yellow rival round. Okay, this will be the last stage of this test. Got the Pathfinder loaded up with regular old rival rounds. We're going to see how they stand up against the Chaos rounds as well as the brand new AccuRival rounds, which both did pretty good, but I don't miss often. I missed with the Chaos ones, and I missed with the AccuRival rounds much. I don't know what that's telling me. Maybe that I need to get the sight picture down on the Pathfinder a little bit better, but we're getting it. Okay, here we go. Brand new rival rounds. Just missed that one. I believe that was a hit. Let's finish them off. There we go. That was definitely a hit. Well, what do you think? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to score that. I missed one on each of them. Almost missed that last one the last time with the rival round. But overall, that shows that you got to be kind of really impressed with the Pathfinder. I think, like I said, I'm still finding that sight picture. Now, what I did here, when I was shouldering it like this all the way up here, I was putting the sight, moving it all the way up, and then I had to like aim 3 or 4 inches below the target, just line it up with that, and then I can hit it, but inconsistently, and I like to be able to have a fixed sight on a target, let them rip, and it'll hit exactly where I'm aiming at. But yeah, fantastic rifle. You see it in action, is doing actually pretty good on these targets. I learned a little bit more. I think I can get completely consistent and hardly ever miss, like I do with Liberator and Orbit. I'm not, like I said, not trying to brag or anything, but I don't miss much with those blasters when I'm playing LockDown. Really enjoy this blaster, especially after putting that 10 coils of K25 in it, taking it from an 83.7 average all the way up to 126, you know, and over 40 feet per second onto a great blaster. So this one, maybe it was a little bit weak, really just lubed it all up and everything. The only part I feel bad about the installation, I still feel bad about this, is that I didn't get to show you exactly how I compressed together the plunger head and rod and the catch and everything right there. You'll be able to get it. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you just put it down on the desk and press it, allow it to come through, and don't let go of it. Whatever you do, let it lock in place. You should be fine. You'll figure it out. And that's the easy way to put this. I spent a little bit of time trying to finagle with that and force that in there until I just said, hey, look, just compress it and put it in. Then it's just a drop in, but don't drop it. Okay, it's kind of easily, carefully placed in there. Do not hit the release, the orange release on the bottom. Don't even touch it, or you're gonna send parts flying, and maybe against the wall, maybe things getting broke. So you don't want to do that. Just be very, very careful with it. It makes it really easy to do. But yeah, overall, really been enjoying this blaster. I like the looks of it. It's got some unusual things on it. These brand new mags, I haven't had any problems with them misfeeding or jamming or anything. I noticed this is a little unusual, a black trigger. When was the last time you saw a black trigger on a HvZ blaster? I know there's some clubs that require you to have an orange barrel and an orange trigger. So that's kind of unusual, but it looks great on there. The overall look and feel of this blaster, it's light. It's light. I like that a lot. Compared to a lot of other things, this is very, very light. That's going to help you a whole lot if you're playing CQB, or if you're spending all day long with it playing in HvZ. This would be a fantastic primary / some of you guys that like to carry a secondary. This would be a great way to go. It really would, because you wouldn't hardly notice if it was there if you strapped it on your back or anything. It's not a lot of weight. This thing really is lightweight, maneuverable, compact. Although I do want to do something about this stock. I'm going to have to get a stock extension on there, just so maybe I can get a better sight picture on it that way. But yeah, fantastic blaster. I like this line. I like where they're going with it. Rival is not dead. Matter of fact, I do believe they made some improvements on it. I don't know exactly what, but this blaster, even though you see me miss a few times, that's a pretty great blaster. I'm getting used to it, and look forward to using it, playing in LockDown. As soon as I get it down to where I'm hitting pretty much 90, 100, 99, 100% of the time, then I feel more comfortable with the blaster. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got a second or so to go down there and leave me a thumbs up on this one. Sure would appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in my next one.